Hey guys, hi, how y'all doing? Welcome back to Burgundy Blue Commentary. So, you guys forgive me, I was working and I saw some updates that just kept coming across my stream, and I was like, you know what? I have to talk about this. Sorry, it's not a formal video, but I was like, this has to be talked about. So, we're going back to the tragic loss of Malcolm Jamal Warner, and the nation was devastated, right? So in this, we're going to be talking sensitive subject matter about um, him dying, and also talking about the new. It almost seems like a plot twist or something that came out of nowhere about what was going on in Costa Rica. Costa Rica, right? Am I saying it right? Do I say Costa Rica? Okay, so y'all, it's getting stranger and stranger by the day. So, right now, ABC News is also reporting that allegedly Malcolm, apparently, I guess, Malcolm was swimming with his 8-year-old daughter when the current took him over, and she was rescued by a surfer. The wife was not in Costa Rica with them, and it was a mysterious stranger. They also went to the hospital. What is happening? Okay, let's listen to this first.
In the drowning death of actor Malcolm Jamal Warner. Police in Costa Rica say the Cosby Show star was swimming with his 8-year-old daughter at a beach on Sunday when surfers spotted them struggling. The surfers dove in to help. One surfer used his board to bring Warner's daughter to safety, and then a lifeguard pulled Warner and another surfer to shore.
The local surfer happened to be here and immediately went in and was able to find Mr. Warner, unfortunately, below the surface, near the floor of the ocean. Was able to pull him to the surface and
But it was too late for the 54-year-old actor. Two doctors also happened to be at the beach and gave Warner CPR for 45 minutes.
Wow.
But they could not revive him.
Loss of a great actor, but you really think his daughter just witnessed something that was super traumatic, and I hope that she gets all the help.
Yeah, when we think about it, like, can you imagine one of the funnest time of your life being with your dad? And I mean, this is a memory. 8 years old, you have memories, right? And this is what she remembers. Her dad did not survive, so that was shocking to hear that that was a new point. Hi, Cynthia. That was a new point of what was going on. Okay, let's go over to TMZ as well. So TMZ just did an update about 20 minutes ago, and it's let us know that Malcolm Jamal Warner body is to be flown to Los Angeles. Okay, so his wife had to get the arrangements. Now she was not in Costa Rica. Now they're saying that the trip was a homeschooling trip. Let's read it together. So it says Malcolm Jamal Warner's body will soon return to Los Angeles after his body was released to his family following the completion of an autopsy. Now I want you guys to know Pam, I believe that's her name, Warner, his mother. She's active on social media right now. Not active, like, she's here. She was still in the industry, still doing her thing, and that's someone we have to pray for as well. So this is interesting. Yes, choose. This is it a friendship trip? We'll see. So it says sources with direct knowledge tell us the actor's remains were turned over by the judicial morgue on Wednesday morning following the completion of his autopsy. We're told Warner's body is scheduled to leave Costa Rica on Thursday and will arrive in Los Angeles on Friday morning. We are told the U.S. Embassy is working with the family on returning the body to the United States. A source with direct knowledge tells us the actor had been in Costa Rica with his daughter for a homeschooling program. We're told his wife had been in the country with them a few weeks prior to his death, but she was not in Costa Rica at the time of his drowning. According to our sources, Malcolm's wife learned of his passing through a phone call. TMZ broke the story. Warner died at 54 from an accidental drowning while visiting Costa Rica with his daughter. There were no lifeguards on duty at the beach where Warner drowned. He was pulled from the water without vital signs and could not be resuscitated. The Costa Rican Red Cross tells us the 29-year-old Nicaraguan man who was transported in relation to the drowning incident involving Malcolm was treated and discharged without complications. We've reached out to Warner's rep for comments. No word back. I think this story is going to get crazier. I think it's going to get crazier. I do. So, I just wanted to report this part to you guys to see all the sources now. Let's see what people have to say. I just want to see if they're matching. But when I saw Channel 7 come up with this, I said, well, ABC, I said, no, wait a minute. My ears just perked up. Now the daughter was there. Now the daughter was there. And she was in the water. Thank God she's okay. Okay. So this is let's hear from, we just heard from this lifeguard. Let's see if this is more than what we heard. Let's see. This just went 15 minutes ago. You guys let me know your thoughts. This is very interesting. All right.
On Sunday, we had actually one of my friends, and a volunteer as well, was in the area and was able to go in and make the rescue. So he's a local surfer, happened to be here and immediately went in and was able to find Mr. Warner, unfortunately, below the surface, near the floor of the ocean. Was able to pull him to the surface and perform the emergency.
I wanted to pause it right there. Choose compassion. They said it was no lifeguards. Remember that? This is why I said I think the story is, I think, you know what I think is happening? Some PR people are getting their hands on something and they're not telling us, you know, it's like, because it's something. It's just something there. And we are not going to tarnish his image over here or anything like that. But we have to just go with the discernment to know that it was something more. Y'all said it was nobody available. He walked into the river by himself. Now the daughter was there. The currents were too strong and they overtook him, but some bystanders jumped in. Now it went from a surfer to a lifeguard, and the daughter was there. Now he was found on the ocean floor.
The protocol that we have in place. When that wasn't effective, then he was able to quickly remove him from the water. And he and there were two doctors that were also here just on vacation. And between the three of them, they were able to perform CPR for more than 30 minutes, probably more like 45 minutes. And unfortunately, it was not successful.
And the CPR Sunday was 20 minutes, just so y'all know. It was a bystander gave him. Now it's two doctors that popped up and a surfer rescuer. And it's something weird here. Our prayers to the family. Yeah, he walked into it's just, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but it's like the stories that come out. It's like, okay, it was just, he walked into the ocean and just was swept away. No lifeguard at first. Now it was just two surfers or one surfer. Then two doctors were just happened to be on vacation. And all right. You know, you could come here. We'll keep following up on the story. Our prayers to the family. I wonder why the wife, I mean, it's not like, I'm not blaming her, but it's not like she doesn't have, she could not, you know how people try to shake, like, where was the wife at? I'm not trying to do that. I just think that adds to the story. The fact that the baby was on vacation with her father, fine, you know, that was beautiful. For the homeschooling program, and then the mom went back home, um, and they were there, and then they decided to go swimming, and the currents were too powerful for Malcolm, but somehow an 8-year-old, that, you know, it's nobody but God. Let me start there. But I'm just saying, with the way they described it to us, if you guys get what I'm saying, the currents were overpowering. It was red flags on the beach telling people not to go into the water. It was too much for Malcolm, but the 8-year-old little girl was able to, you know, float on. You know, it's, you know, I'm just putting the story together. Like, it's so many things that are very interesting when you look at it. All right, you guys, we'll talk about this when we get another update. As always, like, rest in peace to Malcolm Jamal Warner. And look on TMZ, if you look right here, there were no lifeguards on duty at the beach where Warner was drowned. He was pulled from the water without vital signs and could not be resuscitated. The Costa Rican Red Cross tells us the 29-year-old man, Nicaraguan, am I saying it right? Man who was transported in relation to the drowning incident involving Malcolm was treated and discharged without complications. What does he have to do with the story? Do anybody know anything about Costa Rica? So I'm looking. I want to know about the indigenous people of Costa Rica, because what does Nicaragua? You know what I mean? Where are Nicaraguans? Okay, they're from. Y'all, I'm sitting over here like, what did TMZ put that in there for? Like, what are you? What I mean, so they're neighbors to Costa Rica. I just wanted to see. I'm like, what? Like, what are you putting that in there for? We'll stay posted. Rest in peace to Malcolm Jamal Warner. This is going. I mean, I just imagine the hurt to know that your husband was over there with the baby, and you're like, okay, I'll be back next week, you know, and then this happens. You know, we just never know with timing. We never know when things are going to happen. I just hope it wasn't anything foul play that happened, because it's just like, y'all coming up with this story on a, now nobody told us when they had told us his daughter was rescued. They told us that somebody else was rescued. Did they take the baby to the hospital? So the baby didn't need any hospital anything. Okay. All right, y'all. I'll be back. Take care of yourself and each other. Bye.